the room that was sealed for 500 years. Imagine standing in front of a wall that wasn't supposed to exist. No door, no handle, just cold, solid stone, silent, unmoving, and hiding something no one had seen for centuries, for generations. People walked past it without a second thought, until one day a crack appeared, and behind it was a room that hadn't been opened in over 500 years. This is the story of the room that was sealed for 500 years. In the early 20th century, restoration workers were carefully repairing sections of the Palazzo Vecchio in Florence, Italy, a building that had stood since the 13th century. It was a place filled with secrets already, hidden corridors, political intrigue, Renaissance power struggles. But no one expected what they were about to find. While examining a wall in the Hall of the 500, workers noticed something unusual. The surface didn't match the surrounding structure. It looked newer, out of place. At first, it didn't seem important. But then investigators noticed something impossible. Behind the painted surface, there was a gap, a hollow space where no room was supposed to be. And this is where the mystery begins. Historians had long studied the Palazzo Vecchio. Every hallway, every chamber, every passageway had been mapped, or so they thought. But this wasn't on any record. No blueprints, no mentions in official documents. It was as if the room had been deliberately erased from history. Naturally, questions started to build. Who sealed it? Why hide an entire room? And what could possibly be inside? Carefully, experts began their investigation. They used small probes, cameras, and scanning equipment. Anything that could peek beyond the wall without destroying it. And what they found only deepened the mystery. There really was a space behind it. Not a tiny cavity, but a full room, untouched, silent, waiting for 500 years. To understand why it might have been sealed, we need to go back to the Renaissance, a time of political tension, artistic genius, and dangerous secrets. The Palazzo Vecchio was the center of power in Florence, and during the 1500s, it became the stage for one of the most fascinating rivalries in art history. Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo both were commissioned to paint massive murals inside the Hall of the 500. These weren't just decorations. They were symbols of power, prestige, and legacy. But here's where things get strange. Leonardo began working on his mural, The Battle of Anghiari. But instead of using traditional fresco techniques, he experimented with a new method. It didn't go well. The paint reportedly began to drip, melt, and deteriorate before it was even finished. Eventually, Leonardo abandoned the project. Or at least, that's what history tells us. Decades later, another artist, Giorgio Vasari, was commissioned to renovate the hall. He painted over the walls, creating new masterpieces that still exist today. But some historians believe he didn't destroy Leonardo's work. They believe he hid it behind another wall. And that's the theory that changed everything. According to this idea, the sealed room discovered behind the wall could be protecting what remains of Leonardo da Vinci's lost masterpiece. It sounds almost too incredible to be true. But there's one detail that keeps the mystery alive. On one of Vasari's murals, there's a small phrase painted high above the scene, Cerca trova. In English, seek and you shall find. Historians couldn't explain it. Why include such a message unless it was meant as a clue? Further investigations revealed something even more compelling. Behind Vasari's mural, there appears to be a narrow gap, just a few centimeters wide, before another wall begins. Two walls, one hiding something behind it. It wasn't supposed to exist. Modern researchers use advanced technology to search for traces of Leonardo's work. Pigments, materials, anything that might suggest his painting was still there. Some tests detected black pigments, similar to those used by Leonardo. But the evidence isn't conclusive, and that's where the story splits. Some historians believe this is one of the greatest hidden treasures in art history, a lost Leonardo painting, preserved behind a wall for centuries. Others argue there's no solid proof, and that the room may have served a completely different purpose, perhaps structural perhaps political, or even accidental. The truth is, no one knows for sure, because the room has never been fully opened. And that's the most frustrating part. To uncover what's truly inside would require damaging Vasari's murals, masterpieces in their own right. So experts face an impossible choice: preserve one piece of history, or risk it to uncover another. Even today, the sealed space remains largely untouched, silent, hidden, exactly as it was centuries ago. Time, it seems, has stopped inside that room. Dust hangs undisturbed. Air remains trapped from another era. Whatever secrets lie within have waited patiently for half a millennium, and maybe they're still waiting. Because this isn't just a story about a hidden room. It's about how much of history might still be concealed, behind walls, beneath floors, inside places we think we already understand. The Palazzo Vecchio still stands. Visitors walk its halls every day, unaware that just meters away, something extraordinary might be hidden in plain sight. A room sealed not by accident, but by intention. A mystery preserved through centuries of silence. After 500 years, the wall still hasn't been fully opened. And maybe that's what makes it so powerful. Because sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't the ones we've made, but the ones we're still too afraid to uncover.